are joined by Louis van der Merwe from Paul Roos Gymnasium, and we have an opportunity to ask him a couple questions about their esports division at the school, because for anybody who doesn't know, there's been the high school esports league being played throughout the year, and we're finally reaching the final weekend. Welcome, Louis, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. It's a privilege to be here.
So let's just jump straight into it, because it's really cool to be able to talk to somebody who's part of the school and seeing it from that sort of perspective, because it's obviously quite a new thing to have esports involved at a school level.
It's a new thing in South Africa, but we've been doing it for nigh on 3 years now at Paul Roos.
Yeah, and you guys have had quite a lot of success as well. You're in the finals weekend of the Counter-Strike and the League of Legends here, and you won last year as well.
Yes, we did. We've won the CSGO division 2 years in a row, so we're hoping to add a third to this one.
Okay.
And the League of Legends, I think we came third last year, so we're hoping for gold this time.
Okay, so straight up, I'd just like to know, how much focus do you guys put on esports at your school in comparison to the traditional sports like rugby and cricket, which your guys' school in particular is so well known for?
That's a really good question. I'll have to be honest, in terms of focus, it's not the same as the focus on rugby and cricket at all. But in terms of support, we have gotten support from the children from the ground up, and it's being followed amazingly. The kids are watching the streams. There are people emailing me about coming to Paul Roos specifically for esports.
Wow.
And our principal, who is a technological dinosaur, said lovingly, he is completely behind us. He supports us all the way, and he just wants us to excel at what we do. And he believes in Paul Roos being an inclusive school so that kids of all sports can find their groove there. So that's pretty cool to have a principal like that.
Very cool.
So I wanted to ask you, what is your message to schools that may not treat esports the same way you guys do, or do you have a message for them at all?
I would ask them to reconsider. I mean, if you look at the future and esports in general in the world, it's taking off like a wildfire. It's super important to the kids. All the kids are playing it. And it's not just about playing games. I mean, we've seen our first team rugby going on tours, and they sit in the bus and everyone's playing PRG Mobile or Fortnite or whatever it is they're playing. And they're playing competitively. They're so hooked on this competitive aspect that it's wonderful to see. I mean, I get so amped just watching the kids perform. And it's not just playing games for me. It's all about team tactics and learning to handle a victory, learning to handle a defeat, learning to handle team sports and personalities. It's got all the elements of traditional sports. It's just a new platform.
Yeah.
It's super popular, and you should get on it while it is still here, or you will be left behind.
Oh man, you've got such a fresh take on the esports scene, and it's so refreshing to hear as well. And I love that you acknowledge that there's so much more to esports than just playing a game, right? Because there's a whole lot of life lessons that also get learned throughout your esports career. Even just, working with other people and building up your results. There's so many other skills that are developed. So it's really cool that you guys are aware of that and on top of it.
Definitely. It's very hypocritical of me not to actually believe in that, being a gamer myself.
Okay.
Sometimes you play for enjoyment, and then there are times when you log on, you're like, I have my friends, we've been practicing together for 4 years.
Yeah.
Now we're competitive and we're going to win.
Yeah.
It's a different playing for enjoyment and playing for competing and winning.
Absolutely.
Both wonderful, but completely different.
Yeah. So, Louis, what sort of facilities do you guys have at the school to make provisions for the esports scene?
Well, we have the computer labs, but surprisingly, I've gotten the go-ahead to now erect a little esports lab for us with 6 PCs.
Nice.
So we're busy building that. But from next year onwards, we'll have an actual esports lab with 6 PCs. One will be for the streamer, the other 5 will be for competing players.
Wow.
Or it'll be the 6th one will be for the coach, so that we can have some actual sessions coaching the kids and being better.
That's really cool. Like what I would have taken to have that sort of facilities at my school when I was back then. I'm an avid esports lover myself, Matt and myself, everyone here. So it's great to see that you're pioneering the way forward for schools, and especially with HSEL and VS Gaming. 100% kudos to you with everything you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, you guys are setting the standard, getting ahead of the pack as well, because you guys are already getting in positions to make this a mainstream thing in the school. Just one last question. You touched on having that 6th computer, and it could be for a coach. Do you guys have any traditional coaches in position for the esports players in the school?
As far as coaching goes, no, we don't have. We have a lot of talented kids that help each other, and I facilitate them in helping each other be better.
Yeah.
Knowing a lot about CSGO, I can give them a lot of advice, and I make them practice smokes and flashes and things,
Nice.
and we talk about team strategies. But I'll be honest that these kids are so far beyond me in terms of skills. Like, I'm good, they are excellent.
Yes.
And the amount of time that they put into being the best is an amazing time commitment on their half.
Yeah.
They're there. I hear them talking to their parents about how much time they're allowed to put into their academics per day and how much time they're supposed to do traditional sports and then how much time are they allowed to do the esports, because it has to be a balance between everything.
Yeah.
And even energy into esports, and they're amazingly brilliant, good at it. I respect them so much for what they do.
Well, Louis, all I can say is thank you for this amazing input that you guys have been, bringing to the table at the school level, because it's certainly going to be making a very big difference going forward in the grand scheme of things. So it's really awesome, and best of luck to you guys.
Thank you very much.
Good luck this weekend. That was Louis van der Merwe from Paul Roos Gymnasium, and what an amazing thing to hear from his side, Nick.
Honestly, what I would have given anything to have a principal with that sort of backing when you're busy playing the game you love, right? Yes, it's seen as a bit more taboo, but we're going out of that sort of realm where esports is becoming a lot more mainstream, which is exactly what we all love in the esports world ourselves. So I 100% respect the Paul Roos Gymnasium principal and what he has backing for the high school E-League, and we're seeing exactly what's happening, right? They're on the way for a 3 back-to-back CSGO winning squad, so definitely kudos to him, and whatever he's doing it right.
I mean, they're even getting a little gaming esports facility set up there with 6 machines that are going to be geared for gaming, not just using the computer lab, which can run games. It's actually geared specifically for esports. And that's exactly what you want, right? You want all the facilities in place. He spoke about getting coaches as well. Like in your traditional coaches, you have your specific coaches for the different sports. They're going to be incorporating that in as time goes by. And that's exactly what you want to see. So fantastic to hear that. And we continue to move forward in South Africa and in esports as well.